This video is sponsored by Instant Gaming. Stick around to learn more about them, as well as a special offer they're making available through this channel. Yoshimitsu, the mechanized space ninja, has no need for introductions. One of Tekken's most iconic and long-standing fighters, Yoshimitsu is the evil cursed sword's namesake and keeper. He's an extremely unpredictable, resourceful, and unorthodox master of Manji ninjutsu, making him one of the most versatile characters in the roster. Freestyling and adapting to any given situation at hand, while misleading opponents into being overly aggressive, is at the core of Yoshimitsu's identity. To this effect, the iconic Soul Stealer mercilessly stops opponents dead on their tracks, making it one of the strongest momentum killers in the game. In addition to this, the Space Ninja boasts a myriad of unique gimmicks and stances that seamlessly transition into one another, all with their own respective strengths and weaknesses. Yoshimitsu can lean into a more grounded, honest game plan, thanks to some powerful generic tools such as Basic Uppercut, Autumn Leaves, and Nozuchi Fumi, all of which make up for a robust poke-based offense at minimal risk. To shut down lateral movement, avoiding the puddle is an integral mid for both its homing properties and its abilities to knock down opponents, making it a perfect mix-up option to complement Kneecap, an extremely risky yet evasive counter-hit launching low. On the other side of the spectrum, some more unorthodox tools come in the form of Spinning Evade, which deals self-damage upon use. It's great to escape sticky situations and force opponents into whiffing their offense, leaving them completely vulnerable to the heat-engaging Oma Kugiyuchi, playing right into Yoshimitsu's trickster shenanigans. Despite Yoshimitsu's many stances being very situational, Kincho, Manji Dragonfly, and Muto no Kiwami, or better known as No Sword Stance, are the most important. Let's start off by looking at Kincho, which has an active, albeit brief, built-in reversal upon manual activation. During Kincho, Yoshimitsu is able to move forwards and gains access to moves like Ishigaki Kuzushi, that functions as an extremely long-range, relatively low-risk low, knocking the opponent down for a guaranteed follow-up on counter-hit. Additionally, in order to deal with ducking opponents, Doshi Kiri is a mid that forces crouch on hit, netting Yoshimitsu great advantage whilst laying the foundation for various frame traps. To both discourage sidestepping and fish for an opportunity to activate heat, Guntor is a full-blown homing move, which will either reset the neutral situation due to its immense pushback on block, or surprise opponents with its gigantic reach. Some of the most common ways to shift into Kincho are baked into Toe Smash, Oma, and most notably, Iwatsubute, which guarantees Guntor on hit for some chunky damage and heat timer activation. Next up is Manji Dragonfly, which primarily works as a mix-up stance where Dragonfly Twister is a safe mid-heat engager and can be considered the primary threat. Spirited Away is an unbreakable throw that forces the opponent to duck or press into Yoshimitsu to avoid getting grabbed for big damage. And Ubume, the fastest option, serves as an interrupt that launches on counter-hit, but is very risky on block. The first hit of Ubume can loop back into the stance indefinitely for further mind games, making it quite annoying to deal with. Important transitions into Dragonfly are Tobi Ushiwaka, a forward advancing move that gives plenty of advantage to work with, especially on hit, and Kincho Manji Dragonfly working in tandem with Shibakari as a way to fake out and confuse opponents. Lastly, Muto no Kiwami, or No Sword Stance, sees Yoshimitsu sheathing his cursed sword, unlocking modified versions of existing moves whilst restricting access to others, namely some of his stances like Manji Dragonfly and Flee. No Sword Stance really stands out for having a much stronger version of the Soul Stealer, with the added ability to launch on hit and a bigger hitbox. Moreover, Spinning Cleave, a stance-exclusive attack, greatly benefits Yoshimitsu's mix-up potential, as it's an unseeable low launcher. Most crucially, No Sword Stance also functions as an install mechanic in Tekken 8, granting new properties to specific sword-based attacks such as Nagiri Kabutowari, Doshi Kiri, or Sword Slash to name a few, imbuing them with Life Steal, which regains actual health, not just grey health, bigger hitboxes, and more explosive damage. Transitioning into this stance will often mean utilizing moves like Toe Smash, cancelling Heshikiri Barai, and scoring a punish with the newly introduced Mushibami. During heat, Yoshimitsu can permanently tap into no sword stance's install properties without actually having to transition into the stance. This not only allows him to benefit from his full moveset without making any compromises, but also greatly enhances his combo potential. Notably, both Dragonfly Blade and a newly introduced homing move, Red Spider Lily, can now be enhanced with the power-up, bolstering Manji Dragonfly's utility even further, especially since the former now becomes a full-blown launcher. Yoshimitsu's Heat Smash, Divine Sword Kagekyo, stands out for having great range and restoring a good amount of grey health upon successfully landing it. As a bonus, it can also transition into Dragonfly on block, netting Yoshimitsu incredible advantage, making follow-ups hard to avoid. Coming into Tekken 8, Yoshimitsu maintains his identity as a trickster, but with some significant quality of life and stance-related changes. Perhaps the most important nerf is that Soul Stealer now only launches when in heat or no sword stance. Out of a regular stance, it now only guarantees certain follow-ups, most notably Oma Kugiuchi, a heat engager. Kamikaze's previous armored properties have now been ditched, making it significantly harder to use, and Manji Backfist's counter-hit properties have been reduced from a tailspin launch into a knockdown. On the plus side, plenty of new moves have been added to Yoshimitsu's secret Manji technique scrolls, primarily Emma's Flame, serving as a punisher and transition to Heat and Dragonfly. Kuzuryu, a riskier yet heavy-hitting heat engager that catches opponents who stay grounded for a flip-over. And Cleansing Sword Yoshimitsu, a powerhouse sword slash with enormous range which knocks down. All of these also benefit from no sword stance or Heat's install enhancements. Yoshimitsu's juggle routes have also been strengthened with the introduction of Enma's Cleansing Sword, filling the role of Ender and Wall combo. Heshikiri Seibatsu and Suka Atemi Shredder being stable and versatile combo extenders, and Submission Chakram elevating Kincho's wall pressure to whole new heights. Yoshimitsu is one of Tekken's most freeform and expressive characters. His toolkit has always been geared towards lulling the opponent into a false sense of security, before catching them off guard for big damage. This is no different in Tekken 8, with some new tools that really emphasize his prowess as both a sword master and trickster. Yoshimitsu is tremendously powerful when in heat. Being able to access the benefits of no sword stance with a sword and gain big chunks of health back whilst doing it is something that's completely unique to him. This makes Yoshimitsu the most survivable, hard to KO character on the roster. Unpredictability and staying one step ahead of your opponent is key to being effective with Yoshimitsu. If you like the idea of a highly unconventional, sprawling canvas of a character, then join the Manji clan. Thank you for watching. This video was sponsored by Instant Gaming, a website you can use to get big discounts on games. I've used them a lot myself, and they're very easy to use and reliable. Right now, you can get nearly 60% off on Cyberpunk Ultimate Edition and RoboCop Rogue City. There's also a special offer exclusive to this channel. If you click on the link that's on the screen right now, you can win a free game of your choice. Also, a massive shout out to our patrons. For just $1 a month, you can help support this channel and gain early access to upcoming videos. Up next is the high-tech annihilator, Jack 8.